ready. Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. If you weren't awake, you're awake now, I think. This is Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and Teddy Bear, and Benji, but Benji's is the silent one. How are you all? It's, let's see, Tuesday, the 29th of December. Only a few more days of this interesting year is left. Good morning, Shelley. Yeah, it's kind of a fun week, the week between Christmas and New Year's. I hope you have time to do some crafting. I know for me, that's kind of all I'm doing. I refuse to leave the house unless I absolutely have to. And that gives me all the more time to craft. How about you guys? Good morning, Vicki. Hi, Karen. Hi, Dawn. Lisa. Good morning to everyone. Hi, Emmy. And so let's see, today is Tuesday, and we have a few projects for this week. This morning, we're going to be working on these poinsettias. When I was growing up, we always called them poinsettias, until I found out there's no T in a poinsettia, so I always have to try to keep that T out of there. Anyway, this came from an image on Google search, and I wanted to show you how to take an image, a copyright-free image, and turn it into a cuttable file or an SVG. It's really technically not an SVG, it's more of a cuttable file, and I'm going to show you the difference today. Let's see, so tomorrow we're going to be working on this calendar. This is the 2021 calendar. I only have January and February to show you this morning. Good morning, Pam and Gloria. So, and Annette and Alexandra and Janet, good morning to you all. Happy that you could be with me today. Hey, come over here. Benji's looking for things to chew. Definitely going to be working on my new studio space, or trying to do something with my studio space. Sorry. Good morning, Kathy. So this is tomorrow. It's calendars. It's pretty easy, and it's a great first project for people with new machines because it uses pens and cutouts, and it's a pretty straightforward project. And so super simple, not much you have to worry about if you're just getting started, and having a calendar is so nice. I'm putting mine right here. I was thinking about maybe if somebody wanted to hang it, but I think it's more of a size like it just kind of rests. Now, the other thing I was thinking about yesterday about calendars is that last year, or I should say this year's calendar, the one that Cricut creates, because it creates one for every year, is a very beautiful one, and it has all of these layers, and I really loved it, and it was just so beautiful. So I started thinking that I could probably update it to be the 2021 calendar with a little bit of work. So I was going to try to work on that this week. But then I also wanted to show you a perpetual calendar. And so there's that. And I have a few New Year's Eve and Happy New Year type of projects to do as well. I hope we can fit them all in for this week. So let's see. Let's get started, shall we? Again, if you're new, my name is Rita. This is my Facebook channel. It's called Miss Rita to the Rescue. And this is a program that we developed a little less than a year ago called Cricut Chat. You were in it? Oh, good. It's a morning show. It's live and it's taped. So if you can't catch it live and you're listening to the replay, know that you can come at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, or Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Most Saturday nights at 7 o'clock, and you can catch me live. But if you cannot catch me live for whatever reason, you can always watch the replay. Replays are available on my Facebook page, Miss Rita to the Rescue, but they are easier to find on my YouTube channel, which is also titled Miss Rita to the Rescue. And if you go there, please subscribe. You will find over 300 videos there that you can watch, and they are almost all of them are Cricut created or Cricut centered, so that you can learn as much as you can about your Cricut, because these are fabulous machines. Now, it doesn't matter what machine you have. We have projects for all three: the Joy, the Explore series, and also the Maker. So I often will show you projects for those, all different ones, and also the Easy Press for iron-on and infusible ink. So if you're curious, or you really just want to get the most out of your Cricut, this is the place to be. And I would appreciate it if you would follow along. That does really help me. Okay, so let's get started. So let's talk a little bit about poinsettias. I have always had a fondness for poinsettias. I particularly like the cream colored ones and the pink colored ones. But when I went to Design Space and I type in poinsettia, and you have to make sure that you're typing it without the T, right? I came across these that were 3D, and to me, they're very pretty, but do not look like the poinsettia that I like. It has the points, but it's not nearly kind of like angular. It's more circular here. And so you can see that these are the 3D ones here, here, and here. And I was dissatisfied. I did put them together and sort of dissatisfied. I was more looking for something that was sort of like this, but more like a 3D that shows all the veins there. And I did happen across, where is Miss Zoe Deschanel's poinsettia? So this one's hers. I think this one's hers, which is starting to get looking like what I'm looking for. This one also starting to look what I'm looking for, but not quite. And I was being very particular about this. So I wanted to sort of look for the perfect poinsettia for me. And so I turned to Google, and I went and looked and did some Google searching. Let me just bring you to my iPad. I'm going to move you down a little tiny bit so I don't have to hold my iPad up too much. So I did a search for a poinsettia SVG. And I don't know if you've ever done that, but when you do it, you choose images. So when you're at Google, you type in whatever you're looking for, poinsettia, and then you go to, usually when you do that, you get all of this stuff. And then if you click on here, images, you'll see a bunch of images. Now, some of these you have to be careful, because some of these are copyright protected, and you don't want to take someone else's work unless they give you the, permission to use it. And that's the same holds true for Pinterest files and everything else. So when you're looking for an image, you can find the most perfect one, but if it is not free or free to use, or you've been given permission, you need to really look for something else, okay? Because artists, they work hard, and they want to, for some of them, they want to get paid for their files. So you have to really kind of think in terms of that. Okay, so I happened upon this one, which I really like, and I did notice that it is a free design. You see that? Free Christmas design images. And what I like is that I had, this was the type of leaf I wanted. And it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Sorry, it had 5 of the layers, and then a green layer for the leaves, and then this little gold layer for the stamen. So this is the one that I want to recreate in Design Space. So what I can do when I'm on my iPad is I can save this image. Whoops. I think, yeah, add it to my photos by clicking here, add to photos, like this, you see? And it is free. It's from this company called The Vinyl Cut, okay? And then when I go to my photos, here it is. Here is the image that I want to be using. So how do I get it from here to Design Space and so that it's cuttable? Well, I'm working on my iPad, but this can be done on your computer as well. Good morning, Susan. I'm going to open up a Design Space, and I am on a blank canvas. I'm going to go back a little bit here. So I'm on a blank canvas, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here where it says upload, okay? So I'm going to upload, and I get 4 choices. Take a photo, select from the photo library, browse my files, or open uploaded images. So in this case, we're going to select from my photo library because we took that picture and we saved it to my photo library. And here it is, actually several times here. And so we're going to, let's just choose one of them. And here it is. Now, you have a few things that you have to do before it's ready to go and ready to cut in Design Space. And that is, it comes in, we have to clean it up. Now, you'll notice up here is this black box. This is actually, you're seeing 2 different types of images. There's this image and this image. This one here is going to be for, I believe, print then cut. And this one here is for cut. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to cut this file. We don't want to do print then cut. So we do need to clean it up a little bit. So how do we do that? We're going to just hit remove, and we're going to erase that background. See those little squares? That means it's going to cut around those little squares, you see? We also are going to erase this, which is a little free, I don't know what it is, like a little trademark. So we're going to choose the erase button and just sort of erase that. So now we have all of these, and it's going to come out so that it's in black, but that's okay because I'm going to show you the next part on how we're going to change that. So we're going to hit next, and there is the image that we want, okay? Now you'll see here, there are my 2 choices. There's my cut image. There's my print then cut image. My check mark is on the cut image, which is what I want. Now I know the colors aren't right, but that's okay. I do not want a print then cut version of this. So I'm just going to call this Poinsettia and save it. Okay. So I'm saving it. And you'll see here it is. It's actually come up several times, but here it is in my uploaded images. So I'm going to select that and insert it into my canvas. Okay, you see that? I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so you can see what I'm going to do. So this image consists of a bunch of red, or whatever color you choose to do, a green leaf, and then this one is going to be kind of the gold color of the stamen. So to separate the colors, I am going to duplicate this file, and then I'm going to use something we all talk about all the time. It's called contour. So let us first duplicate this, and we're going to select it and go down here to actions, and here is duplicate. So we're going to duplicate it twice. So we have three different versions. So let's just work on one. We put the other two aside, and here is our one. Okay, so we're going to use hide contour, and that is something you can only do with a very simple image that this is, all one color, no layers, no special treatment to the layers. And so here it is, it's called hide contour. We click on that, and what it does is it brings up all of the parts of this image, and we can decide which ones we don't want to look at. That's what contour is. So we want to get rid of, let's say, the green and the gold. We just want the red. So we come back, here we have all of these, and now we can change the color by going to edit, and over here where it says cut line type, press on that black and choose red and apply. So now all of our parts that are red will cut out in red, and in our eyes it'll make it easier for us to sort of conceptualize as well. So now we have to go ahead and do the same thing for the green and for the gold. So that's why we duplicated it. Again, I'm going to go to actions, hide contour down here. And instead of getting rid of the green and the gold, I'm going to get rid of all the red and the gold. Okay? So then I just have the green. I go over to edit again, and I'm going to change it to my green color and apply. Okay? And then so the third one is, let's move this over, is just for the stamen on the inside. So to do that, we're going to, again, go actions, hide contour, and this time we're going to just eliminate all the red pieces and the green piece so that we just have that one little inside point that is gold. And then again, go to edit, change the color. Whoops, sorry, I don't mean to be moving all around. Change the color, and there you go. Now, you could leave it like this and cut it just like this, and it will create 3 different mats, which is perfect, and definitely easy to understand. However, you can take this a step further if you're kind of like me and you want to sort of save your material, because this red has all of these 5, and they're all sort of together. So when you go to cut it, they're not going to be movable on your mat. You won't be able to sort of move it around so that it saves space, and you can cut them in a sort of orderly fashion that uses the least amount of product or material. So if you wanted to take this a step further, and of course we always want to gild that lily, let's do this. We're going to duplicate this again. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flower petal like layers. So let's go ahead and duplicate it 5 times, or well, actually 4 times, because then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, if this is too much beyond you, that's okay. Just go with the 3 layers. But if this is something that you want to learn, this is how you do it. We're going to basically separate all of these flowers so that they are independent of one another, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and do the contour again on each one. And here it is right down here on the iPad. I'm going to hit hide contour. Now you'll notice that it already has hidden the leaf and the gold stamen, but we're going to hide all but one of these. So here we go. And now we have this independent inner part. We're going to do the same thing again, hide contour, and we're going to hide this one, this one, this one, this one, and there's the smaller one, and hide contour, this one, right? So now we are creating independent leaves, if that makes sense to you. And so here it consists of 5 flowers, and 2 of them are the same size. These 2 are the same size, and this one is the largest. This one is slightly smaller. That's the third one, and then these 2 are the same size. So we're just going hide contour, and we are eliminating the ones we don't want to see. I want to make sure I did that right. Okay, so I've got 2 the same, and then this one, and this one. You see that? Now, what's the reason for doing this? Well, first of all, it makes using your material much easier, but it also makes changing the size of your flower a lot easier to conceptualize, okay? And that's because when you have them all independent, what I do is I generally kind of make a little bit of a pile. I take every single one and I sort of pile them on top of each other like this. Let me just make sure this one's over here. And then, whoop. So now they're all together, and you can, in fact, choose them all and choose group, which is down here, group. It's under actions. Right, you could, Diana. So once you group it, then it's all together, and what you could do is resize the flower to any size you want. Now, this flower is exactly the way that it's sized here, which is a nice size. But I have a cone. It might have told you this before. It's a styrofoam cone that I paid like $12 for. It was one of those, I don't know why I bought it, but I bought it and I thought I would make like a beautiful like table centerpiece, and I was actually thinking of poinsettias when I did it, but this was several years ago. And my son, he has like an affinity for things. Like he loves to play with my stuff and takes it all the time. So the other day actually a couple weeks ago, he was like, I want that cone. And I'm like, no, you can't. It was very expensive and I am going to use it. And so we made a decision that if I don't use it soon, he's going to get to destroy it, basically, is what he would do. He'd probably poke things in it and all of that. So I need to, long story short, I need to use up this cone in a positive, creative manner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the size of my flowers and make all different color flowers and use the cone for that, because you can only use these big ones. They won't fill in all of the spaces. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of different sized ones. And that's why I want to resize my flowers. So at this point, you are kind of done. Yep, that's Owen for you. So you are kind of done, and you can go ahead and cut it by hitting make it, right? Now here is the stamen. Here's our flowers. Now, in this case, look at how we have these flowers coming up on 2 different mats. That's okay. We can make some changes here, and we can move, for instance, let me go over here. We can move this one by hitting these triple dots. We've done this before. Triple dots, move object. And we're going to move it over to here. Now remember, if you're seeing yellow, that means they're overlapping, and that's not going to work for you. So you have to move these around so that they're not yellow. And this might be a little frustrating for some. I kind of like it. It's like doing a puzzle, but I want to move this guy. For some reason, I can't select him. Here he is. Come on. Here. Come on, you. All right, I'm going to move him. Boop. I'm having a hard... Oh, there it is. Yay. Okay. So there we go. When all of the yellow is gone, I know that I can cut this. Now, my iPad is set up to cut onto my maker, but this would also be something you could do with your Joy or your Explorer. All you need to do is make sure that it's on the page. Let's actually, no, I don't want to go back because that would ruin the work I did. So here we go. So I now have 3 mats, and then I have this this blank one, which is going to disappear when we get to the other, to the next page where we pick a material. Also, I think I'm going to hide this little stamen part because I want to show you. I'm going to hide it, and I'm going to not cut it. So now I have 2 empty mats and 2 full mats. I'm going to hit continue. Now I get this message because I have not connected via Bluetooth my maker to my iPad. I have to do that. So I need to go to my settings. And I'm going to look at Bluetooth, and here are all of my choices. I know it's a lot, and we're going to choose, and actually I have 2 makers, so I don't even know which one this maker is. Okay, it's this one. I should probably just eliminate that other one, but I don't do that. So here we go. So now we're ready to cut these 2. Oops, don't do that. Okay, so we're going to hit continue. Good morning, Anna Maria. All right, so now you see I'm down to the 2 mats. I'm in mat 1, and there's mat 2. The other 2 that were empty just disappeared, okay? And we're back to picking out our material, and in this case, I'm going to use a medium cardstock. Okay, and I'm going to cut this on my maker. So you'll see when I move the camera, you're going to see my maker is blinking. I also want to show you one other thing. I normally am showing you the maker with a computer, but here we go. You'll see that this button is blue. That's because it's on my Bluetooth and not connected to my computer, which is right here. So I wanted to show you how to use an iPad with a maker. I show you all the time how to use the iPad with a Joy, but in the event that you got a new iPad for Christmas, you can certainly do this with your new iPad. So here's a new skill that you can learn. Okay, so it's blinking, and I am going to direct it from here. I'm going to choose medium cardstock, you see, and I only need to put in the mat. So here's the mat. It's going to go in here. I'm choosing a creamy colored cardstock for this, and I'm just going to hit that blinking button, and it will cut out the pieces of the you did, Debbie, you got an iPad. They're so much fun, and they're a bit addictive. I just search for projects and different like things to do, like I showed you with the poinsettia. You don't even know how to plug in the cable, right? And so the Joy works wonderfully with the iPad or with your, mobile device. And I think generally speaking, a lot of people will pair either a laptop or like a desktop with the Maker, and they often forget that it's also good to work with on the iPad. And actually, the iPad has a little space right here that you can put it there when you're cutting. That's what that little divot is for. And so I just thought it would be useful to show people how to do that. So it's cutting out my petals, and then I'm going to show you how to put it together. And you get the progress onto your on your iPad screen, and it tells you how far along you are cutting, same as you do from when you are cutting out on your regular laptop or your desktop. Okay, so it's done, and I'm going to then just remove it, and here it is. There's my petal leaves, what do I call them? My petal layers, my petal layers. And this is perfect, exactly the way I wanted it to be. And I was able to move it around, save a little space on my page. And if I wanted to do like 2 at a time, I could do that. And see, there's the big one, medium, the next like kind of small, and then these 2 are the smallest. Okay. And then I'm just going to remove them from my mat. All right, so let's move you over, show you how to put this together. Pardon me. Okay, so here is our top layer, the big layer. I cut already a bunch out. And here is the next size and the next size, right? 3. Whoops. And then we've got a bunch of the smaller ones. And here are our green pieces. So the thing about that I like about poinsettias is that they have a very sharp look to them. And I don't know if you've ever kind of stared at them, but they have a lot of veins here, right? So what we want to do is we want to mark them up. Now you could use scoring for this, but I wanted to keep it kind of simple. So we'll discuss scoring for all the people that got a scoring wheel or a scoring stylus for Christmas. We'll do that in a little bit, but let's just focus on getting the paper ready and doing it by hand. And so I'm going to get one of each of these pieces, except for the 2 layers here. All right. And now I'm going to use this thing. It's called an embossing tool. It comes, you can buy these at Amazon, and they have different points. Now, if you like flowers, this is a very good investment. Costs about $5, and on each side it has a different like kind of a ball. Now you don't have to use this. You can find another thing that you might be able to use, like maybe in your kitchen, maybe like a pen tip that doesn't have ink, like an ink carriage in it, but this is called an embossing tool, and it's often used for when you're taking stencils and you're actually creating a divot in paper. When you're embossing, you have to have kind of a soft surface so that you can move that embossing tool. And so I am using my, this is my pad, my Cricut easy press pad that I use for iron on, but it's perfect because it's nice and soft. If you don't have one of these, try a stack of tissue paper or even like a towel, maybe not a fluffy terry cloth towel, but it's something that's a little bit soft. And let me show you why. What we're going to do is we're going to take this embossing tool and we're going to put a line through each of the petals, okay? So we're going to put a line and just kind of move it around and put a little line. That's going to make it easier for us to sort of fold these leaves. A mouse pad might work too. Yeah. I mean, you can do this without this soft surface, but I think you get better results when you have something soft. Okay. So yeah, anything that has like kind of a point to it, you don't need to get this in particular, but that's what this is made for, is working with paper. So once you have the leaves sort of folded, let me do this one. If you want that really authentic look, you can then take your tool, and you can use the different sizes if you want, but you can just start making the leaves or the veins in the leaves or petals like this. And it's just it's an extra touch that makes it look a little more authentic and pretty. And it does require a little more of your time, but I think it makes it look really authentic, don't you? And so you're just going to go through, and you're going to do this for all 5 of your leaves or petals or layers, I should say, layers like that. You don't have to be so precise about it. But here you go. So again, put a line straight through like this. I know I do feel a little bit like Leo. And you could, if people are new and they don't know who Leo is the guy that runs this company called Dreaming Tree, and he does a lot of this stuff, and he does do a lot of inking as well. Inking is when you take an ink pad and you put like a little bit of a contrast, not very much, but just like slightly lighter or darker to give it a really different shading kind of a look. I don't often do too much inking because I am terrible with ink, but he does do it a lot, and it's really quite clever, and also looks very natural. So we're just going through and doing this for all of the layers of the leaf. And then when you get to the green part, the same thing, because when you look at a real poinsettia, it's just like that. The leaves, some of them are green and some of them are colored. So we're doing the same thing here. All right. Okay. So now we have Teddy. All right. So now we have 1, 2, 3. Let's just do this one. Teddy, come on now. It's garbage day, so they're putting out garbage, and he thinks that that's fascinating. Okay, so here we go. Here we have, actually, I've done it for this one as well. Okay, so now I have all my pieces, and they're all have been sort of scored. I folded them a little bit, and I've done it for the inside pieces as well. I'm going to take my glue. Now, in this case, you may want to use what's called pop dots. That would give kind of a lift to the flower, but I'm not going to use pop dots today. You know, maybe I might use a pop dot in between the leaf and the flower. That might be a good idea. So a pop dot is just like a little dot of foam that has adhesive on either end, and when you use it with paper making, it kind of gives a little bit of a lift. You see how it gives a little bit of a lift there? So that's what I would probably do here, and kind of just separate the leaves from the petals, okay? But otherwise, you can just start and use glue or pop dots, whatever you want to do, and put it on the back of this, and we are going to sort of alternate the petals. I put a little too much glue on, I apologize. So alternate the petals so we don't have, we can't look through that, and a little tiny bit of glue here. And we just build our flower. Now, I told you that I didn't want to cut out the little gold, but I did cut out some. I cut out some in glitter. I want to show you what I came up with separately. So this is what it looks like in glitter. But then I started thinking, you know, I think this would look really cute with one or some little rhinestones, up to you, but I found some rhinestones that were kind of a big flower. I kind of like that. Or if you wanted to, you could put a couple of little ones there, or you can use this, whatever you'd like. So I think I'll try it with that rhinestone and put a little tiny bit of glue there. Whoops. There we go. And it's still a little wet, but there's our flower. Isn't it pretty? I do like the rhinestone. Here's the one with the glitter. So if you don't have the rhinestones, you can certainly use glitter, but I kind of like it. It looks actually a little more authentic that way. So yeah, so I'm thinking that I'm going to cut these out in all different sizes and use that cone. So you guys got to hold me to it. I'm going to have to work on that. I have a bunch of projects that I haven't even finished yet that I still have to finish. Let's see. What else is there to know? Okay, so again, if you want to see this over, because if you're watching this live, simply go to the YouTube channel, and it's called Miss Rita to the Rescue. And I will, once this is over, I'll post a link to the YouTube channel. A couple other things. If you are still in the market for things from Cricut, know that the sale that's running right now, the half off sale, is still going on, but only for a little while longer. And definitely use my link, because if your order exceeds $50, you'll get an additional 10% off of materials. Plus, if you're an Access member, you'll get either 10% or 20% depending on which Access you have. So there's that. I thank you guys so much for coming today. I hope you have a lovely day. It's really sunny here. And so I'm going to enjoy the day cleaning and doing some crafting in my sun porch. And I will see you again tomorrow. And we're going to do, what do you need from Cricut? Well, this paper that I made, that I used to make these red flowers, did come from Cricut, and they have all kinds of materials and tools. So tune in again tomorrow, where we're going to be doing these really fun, the new calendar. So we're going to be working on that tomorrow, and we will see you. I hope you have a lovely day, and we'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.